Hey, beautiful, why don't you
Please,
smile?
don't touch me.
I told you you couldn't
If you
see
really
him.
loved me, you'd do this.
You're hurting me.
I don't
I
want
said no.
I said
Please
no.
stop.
Catcalling, groping, stalking,
Harassment, financial control, emotional abuse,
dating violence, sexual violence.
murder. These abuses are all forms of gender-based violence.
From jokes about a person's sexual orientation or gender identity, to hate crimes against women or LGBTQ+ individuals, to domestic violence, sexual assault, and murder. Gender-based violence affects millions of Canadians, and it's time to stop it.
Please?
Please.
Please
stop. Stop.
But what is gender-based violence? It's the abuse of power over another person because of their gender or gender identity.
What's gender identity? Here's a quick way to remember. Sex refers to your biology. Gender refers to your internal sense of self and the ways you express that to the world.
Many people's sex and gender line up in the way society expects them to. For some, like trans, non-binary, and two-spirit people, their gender isn't dictated by the sex they were born with.
In the past, Western European ideals brought to Canada didn't allow for a lot of variety when it came to how you expressed your gender. You were either a man or a woman. And as a man, you were strong and powerful. You didn't express emotion. And as a woman, you were caring and nurturing. But it was assumed that women were much less capable than men outside the home.
If you didn't fit those gender norms, well, then you were often rejected or abused. We'd like to say things are different today, but even though society is changing and many people are rejecting the rigid gender stereotypes that held us back in the past, we're not fully there yet. It's time to embrace change.
It's time.
It's time.
Because violence is too frequently a result of our old culture, our old gender stereotypes. Violence becomes expected, accepted, and even normal. And inequality is often at the root of it.
While absolutely anyone can experience gender-based violence, women tend to bear the brunt of it. This is based on the history of devaluing women and femininity, and it's time we change that story.
It's time.
It's time.
In Canada, more than 50% of women will experience some form of sexual violence in their lives. 80% of dating violence is experienced by women, and every 6 days, a woman is murdered by her intimate partner.
Many other things affect a person's likelihood of experiencing abuse, like race and physical ability.
Straight, bi, and gay men and gender-diverse people also experience gender-based violence. It can affect us all, and it's time to stop it.
It's time.
It's time.
So what can you do to prevent gender-based violence?
You can notice it. Look for it in the jokes we tell. Look for it in the language we use. Watch for it in movies and TV, and notice the damaging impact of stereotypes in pop culture and in our own lives.
It's time.
It's time.
Time.
You can speak. Let's change our own words to make sure we're not using harmful stereotypes. We can address it with our friends and family if they do it too.
And we can speak up when we see it on our streets, in our workplaces, or online. We can change this conversation.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
And finally, it's time to act, to take action against gender-based violence. There are many things we can do.
If you suspect someone is experiencing abuse, talk to them about it. Approach them with empathy, believe them, and help them to feel that they're not alone.
If you see the abuse happening and it's safe to do so, approach the person who is experiencing it and engage with them. Ask them if they want help and respect their answer and their personal space. Help them know they're not alone. Chatting with them can make a difference.
If you can't engage or if you feel unsafe, there are still things you can do. Tell someone in charge. Talk to the manager. Tell security. Call the police. If possible, make sure the person you're supporting wants this kind of help.
Or you can create a distraction to diffuse the situation. Ring the doorbell, pretend to be lost, ask for directions.
And if it's safe to do so, you can document the situation.
It's time to take action to end gender-based violence, and you are part of the solution.
Edmonton's gender-based violence prevention initiative aims to bring awareness to these issues, to help people identify them and stop them.
It's time to notice, speak, and act. It's time to end gender-based violence.
It's time.
It's time.
It's
It's
time.
time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.